Sure. I'm just kidding. So this is for the library. This is a first for me, but I've been doing it all slow down is what I call it, and so I miss everybody. I miss seeing people, but most importantly, I'm glad that we're able to be safe. I usually at this time during my live classes ask everyone who has been to my cooking class before. So if you've been to my cooking class before, you can just kind of leave a little comment. You're on live with us. And then for those of you who haven't, my name is Chef Z Carter, and I am the Daily Commercial food writer. I have a cooking school and a cafe with my daughter, Chef Joy, who's out on maternity leave. And I guess that's kind of all I can say about myself, huh, Dad? Yeah, that's me. So you can sort of kind of listen to me. I've only been doing it for about 13, 14 years, and I love cooking, and I love teaching people how to cook. And I think that's one of my my strong points is that I like to teach people how to cook. I'm so happy that the library brought me in on Mediterranean. You guys learning about the Mediterranean. I think that kind of cooking is good. It's delicious. It's good for you. The Mediterranean cooking is varied. So that's one of the things I want to talk about is all of the countries that make up the Mediterranean and Mediterranean style cooking. So we'll talk about that. Then we'll have a dish that I kind of hodgepodge together from different regions of the Mediterranean, and it's really delicious and very simple because unlike a lot of cuisines that are out there, Indian or French cuisine, Mediterranean cooking is considered to be simple. So if there's a lot of ingredients, then you start taking away from the heart of the Mediterranean cooking because they like to use what is available in the region. We're talking about Greece, and Greek cooking is a part of Mediterranean cooking. Here in the Western world, we kind of use those interchangeably, but Greeks don't want to be confused with Italians and so forth, and so but it's the cooking, it's not all the same, but they embrace the different types of Mediterranean cooking. I know there was something else I wanted to tell everybody. Oh, about the cafe and cooking school, duh. In November, Chef Joy and I, we did open our cafe and cooking school here. We have been in sort of like a little melee during the shutdown because we do these live cooking classes and then we do some tape cooking classes. So our cooking and event area is kind of it's being tousled around a lot faster than we can keep up with it sometimes, but we do cooking classes here. We have the opportunity to do all kinds of fun cooking classes. Some are hands-on, some are what we call demo and dine. Now some are virtual like this class, and also Tuesday through Friday we have a cafe that's open. We do a late breakfast and lunch service, and we serve breakfast all day. We're here on Main Street in the Southern Gardens building. Right now we're open for curbside. Once everything is okay, that I feel okay, then we'll open our dining room back up. So that's what I wanted to say to get that out of there. So I know with Mediterranean cooking, everybody tends to think of the Mediterranean diet. And the reason why is because food from the Mediterranean region has a lot of health benefits for you. But there's a lot of food in the Mediterranean region that is not considered diet food. They just like to consider their food as food from our region. And a lot of Mediterranean cooking also embraces what they call their trinity. And a Mediterranean trinity is going to be your olive oil, your olives, your wheat, and your grapes. Those are the trinity of the Mediterranean. So a lot of those recipes will have those ingredients in it, and those things are considered to be healthy as far as we're concerned. And it's just shown that it has a lot of healthful benefits. There's a lot of different regions in the Mediterranean and along the border of the Mediterranean Sea. So we have Spain, France, Italy, Greece, Turkey, Egypt, Algeria, Liberia, Tanzania, Morocco. All of these countries, different regions, are considered to be a part of a Mediterranean diet per se, but not diet as in program. So all of these things connected help to make up the Mediterranean cooking. It's not to be confused, like I said, with the diet. There's a lot of health benefits, and it encompasses a lot of ingredients besides just the plant-based things. There's a lot of meat as well, and a lot of lamb, especially in Greek cooking. So we talked about the Trinity, and the olive oil, the wheat, and the grapes, like I said. And then there's a lot of cultures that are associated with Mediterranean cooking as well. Right now, I just want to touch on, like, there's the Spanish cuisine, and that is going to be, believe it or not, paella is wrapped up in Mediterranean cooking. And then there are such foods as pork and rabbit and shellfish. These are all a part of the Mediterranean diet or Mediterranean palate. In French, a lot of simple French cuisine is considered to be a part of that, like your bouillabaisse and your risotto and your niçoise salad. Those are all part of the Mediterranean palate as well. Then you have the Italian cuisines, and risotto belongs to the Italians. Pizza is also considered to be a part of Mediterranean palate as well, even though we just strictly associate pizza directly with the Italians, but it's also considered to be a part of the Mediterranean palate. And what makes that so unique, pizza, is the actual ingredients. As Americans, we have Americanized pizza, but in other countries, pizza has different ingredients, and it is more towards the Mediterranean palate. So you see a lot of olives, a lot of hard cheeses, tomatoes, fresh herbs. So I think one of the closest pizza that we probably have around would be the margarita pizza, because that has the mozzarella, that has the tomatoes, and it has the basil. Those are things that are reminiscent of a Mediterranean palate that would be found more in that region on pizza. Unfortunately, not really greasy pepperoni and shredded mozzarella would not be a part of that. So cooking with Mediterranean ideas and Mediterranean ingredients, they're healthy. They're also going to be simple, and they're going to be delicious. You know, what else can I say? Mm-hmm. And, you know, because we know they're healthy, you know, people always still want to say the Mediterranean diet. But just know that this is the way that people who live in these regions that I mentioned before, this is what they eat. This is what they eat on a regular basis. They move around a lot. They get going a lot. They walk a lot. They enjoy their meals at different times, but with each other. So all of those things blended in together help to make for a healthier way of life. And I think if we embraced more of that, especially now during the time of slowdown, that we could get a lot of benefit from living like that. And it's especially important now more than ever that we eat as healthy as possible. And I know a lot of people tend to think that if you're eating healthy, then you are eating, it's not going to be tasty. And so that's one thing that we don't want people to think about, is that it's not going to not be good, you know. It's going to still taste good. So This is a pasta dish that it has more Italian roots, but I kind of made it a little Greek because I added the olives to it, and instead of right now trying to get pancetta or even the Greek or Italian bacon is virtually impossible. So the pasta amatriciana, but I turned it into my version and I Americanized it. So forgive me, people of Greece and in Italy. But I just did it to make it simple so that people would embrace some of the some of the nuances of that cuisine and still get a lot of the benefits from it. And I figure it's bacon. How can you go wrong with bacon? So
No, you can't.
you can't go wrong with bacon, I know. So I don't know if do we have a good shot of my
Yes.
pan here?
Yes.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay.
This is what it looks like.
Oh,
So it's a good-
waving at myself. Okay. So we're going to the bacon. I would normally take the bacon and fry it down and make it crispy. I already kind of pre-cooked the bacon, and I've got some rendered fat because in that dish there's a lot of lard in this particular dish. It's also considered like a poor man's food. I guess that spaghetti is just going to be a part of it. There we go. But yes, I said bacon, lard, and fat. Yes, I did. And then you go, how can it be healthy? Everything in moderation, my dear friends. Everything in moderation. And you saw me only use like probably about a little less than a tablespoon here. So that's not much that we got in there. So I have my peppered bacon here. So we're gonna just take that peppered bacon and I'm gonna finish it off. Finish frying it and get it kind of crispy here. Now you can find this peppered bacon at Publix. My favorite store, Publix. Aldi has thick cut peppered bacon. A lot of the stores, even Fresh Market, they have the thicker cut fresh bacon. If you can get pork jaw, that is really good. Pancetta, it's okay to use. I just like the peppered version of the fatty part of the meat because it's going to help lend some flavor, and it's going to make us not have to use like any chili powder or any other pepper that would normally be used in this typical recipe. So again, I'm keeping it simple. So while that's crisping up, I'm going to go ahead and just chop up some garlic here. And remember this, the original recipe is just bacon, cheese, spaghetti, and tomatoes. That's it. It's a very simple recipe. We choose to make things a little bit more difficult than they need to be. And I'm just rough chopping this, nothing special. Just want to kind of release some of the natural oils there. I'm so sorry you guys couldn't be here to smell this. It smells so good. Here's my bacon. It's all crispied up here. And this is meaty bacon. When you get the thicker cut bacon, go for the premium kind so you get a lot of meat. There's going to be fat because it's thicker cut, but if you go with the bacon that has a lot of meat in it, then it's going to be equally satisfying. So we're going to just take that crisp bacon out.
wants to know if Joy is with you.
Joy is not here. Joy is 2 weeks away from having a baby.
Oh, she's 2 weeks?
She's 2 weeks. She's going to have her baby in two weeks. So we're going to add our Marzano tomatoes to that fat. And remember, there's no need for us to put any pepper because we just use pepper bacon, right? Somebody say right? Right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get some kind of interaction.
Well, Joy would like to know if you're going to have recipes available afterwards.
As soon as the library puts them up in a day or two, right?
Right.
Okay. So yes, this recipe will be available. But it's so simple, you guys. Look, just write it down as I'm going.
That's true.
It really is. It's simple. We're just trying to get all the wonderful juices from the tomato. I did sprinkle a little salt because salt is also going to help draw some of the water out of these tomatoes. And I got these type of tomatoes. They look like cherry tomatoes, but they're a little bit longer. And they're going to be sweeter, and they cook better, so much better. So now we're going to add our garlic to this. Doesn't it smell good in here?
Yeah.
And this is it's so simple, you guys. It's not hard at all. This is a simple recipe. Smells so good. And I chose to put my garlic in with my tomato because the garlic I don't want to burn, and because if it burns it starts to get a little bit on the bitter side, and so being in that tomato and tomato sauce here kind of helps it out a little bit. So now I am going to add the spaghetti. So I just cut some spaghetti, cook some spaghetti, just regular spaghetti. Your recipe, I think, will have a pound. Ooh, that's my tomato. About a pound. If you want more spaghetti, if you want to dry your pasta, you can do that. And we'll try to get that all in there. You should see it. It looks amazing. And then we're going to add back what started all of this. Our peppered bacon. And this is rare. It's funny. I normally make vegetarian or plant-based meals. Today would be a day that I have no audience. Well, I have you guys, but that I choose to make another meal. Go figure. Sorry, everybody. So now I've done that. I'm just going to add a teeny bit of pepper, black pepper, because when I add this Parmigiano Italian type blend cheese, this white cheese, pepper just brings out that cheese. Brings out the flavor in the cheese. Got that cheese in there. And then I'm going to make it really yummy. I'm going to add some olives. Because remember, we're part of the Trinity, right? And then just to give it that ultra finish, let's get some of those olives all over here. We're just going to dab it with a little bit of olive oil. I'm making a mess. Oh, I forgot to warn everybody that's what I do, right?
Yeah.
I make messes, but it always turns out pretty good. Just got a little bit of olive oil, so we've got a lot of the Trinity. If we could use the whole wheat pasta.
Out and add it back. Why not just leave it in with the tomatoes?
Because I want the bacon crispy. I don't want it burned. So, and I'm just trying to get the fat to get me going. And you can burn your bacon, guys, and then it'll take away from the whole dish, because then you'll end up with a dish that tastes like burnt bacon. And it being a meatier bacon, it will burn. Anybody else?
Yeah, Carissa is here and she's been commenting a lot. She said that she ate pizza on the French Riviera in France. And it was so delicious and much different than ours here in the US.
Yes. It is. It's totally different. And we've Americanized a lot of different cuisines from all over the world. But pizza is one of the ones that we have really made to be ours. You know, American pizza is just totally different, for sure.
She, Janet said that she would like to use thin cut pork chops with this.
Thin cut pork chops? Well, I would not, because thin cut pork chops have 0 fat. And that's part of what makes this dish so flavorful, and the ingredients are simple, is that fat from that pork. And so a leaner pork would not lend to the flavor. And you have to remember, this is not something that you make as an everyday dish, although you could. And we're talking about a tablespoon of rendered fat from the bacon, and how, you know, it's whole food ingredients, like I always say. That is what's really, really going to control your health. And using whole food ingredients gives you more of an opportunity to eat dishes like this on a more regular basis, because you control what's in it. So if you're worried about your fat intake, back off from the bacon. You don't have to back off from it altogether, or you can just use the bacon fat and not have the bacon. But to me, the leaner pork, I wouldn't do it. There's no fat. Anybody else?
What is this dish called? Nina would like to know.
What is it called? It is Z's version of pasta amatriciana.
Oh.
Yeah, it's my version. It is not the traditional version. The traditional version uses a different type of pork, more like pork jowl. So there's a lot of fat in that. But again, whole food ingredients. And the traditional dish does not have olives in it. So I added that into that dish as well.
Janet says, congratulations, Grandma.
Thank you. They call me Nini.
Oh.
Because Joy already has one, remember. And so me and her were together earlier this morning. I feel like I've had a full day already. And it's
10, 11.
yeah, toddlers will do that, because she's at the ripe age. In October, she'll be 2. So yeah, and her mom was like, why did she do this? Why did she do that? And I'm like, Joy, she's going to be 2. But I think that's more of a reminder for myself than it is for Joy. So I have to remind myself. So, anybody, any other questions?
What other kinds of cooking classes have you been doing for the community?
We have, well, speaking of, I know this is live, we are having a Mommy and Me Tea Time class coming up this Saturday through the city. So if the city, call the city for any details for that. We have a girls' night out. Those are classes that we do in-house. Since we've been on the slowdown, we've done a pasta class. We've done a taste of Africa, more of looking at Africa as a region and exploring different foods there. I have always taught a taste of African food class, but this goes into the spices, the heart of African cooking, and the root of African cooking. So it's changed a little bit, so that's one of the classes that I've been doing as well. And when they're popular and everybody wants it, then we go for it, you know. You can always call me here at the cafe, 352-901-6537. Shameless plug. If you want to know more about the classes that we'll be having coming up, I know that I plan on teaming up with the Ancient Olive, and we're going to do a pasta class. And I like it because although it's virtual, it's still going to be hands-on. So that means that you'll have an opportunity to pick up a class kit, and you'll get everything that you need to make our recipe in class. You just pick it up, and then when the class starts, we go live, and you get to make your version at home.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, right?
We might ask you to do that for the library too.
That would be cool. I would love to do it. I would love to do it. And I like that too, because you get to eat your own stuff. You still get to eat. And unlike you guys who get to eat this and tell everybody else about it, I'll dish us up a plate. Sorry, if y'all were here, you know.
I wasn't going to tell them that we were going to eat this.
Oh, I'm sorry, Deb. Deb doesn't want y'all to know. Sorry, Deb. That they're gonna. Well, anybody who knows me knows that if I make something to eat, that I'm going to share it out. They already know. They know that. They just probably want to know how they can be a part of the in-studio audience. I'm sorry, but
let them know that I don't know how well they can hear me. That this video will be posted on YouTube or tomorrow or so, and that your recipes will be available in a couple of days.
And so will the video.
So will the video.
The video and the recipe it'll be along shortly. When Tim gets to it, right, Tim? We won't throw Tim under the bus.
Lena wants to know how much the kit will be. We'll have to work out the details for the library, but if you are having this class for the community, how does that work and how much does it cost?
They'll have to pick up the kit. We're working out the details because you either pick it up here at the cafe or in the Villages at the Ancient Olive, and the kit is about $25, I think, but that gives you Ancient Olive oil, that also gives you your flour, and then it includes the class as well. So I'm not for sure on the exact price, but I think that's around the price range. If you're interested, we have a Facebook page here. It's the Kitchen Cooking School. Go on our page, shoot us a message, and just say you're interested so we can put you on the list. Do that like that. But here's our finished dishes.
Wow.
Aren't those beautiful?
I'm making the chef say goodbye to you. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chef Z. I wish you were all here to help us taste, but I'm sure, a little bit more for, we get lunch, not a taste today. So thank you all for joining. I know you enjoyed this, we did too, and we'll see Chef Z next week. And stay tuned for more classes from Chef Z. Thank you.